Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. It's Dr. V. I apologize. I am a little bit late on doing this reading. I intended to have it up last night, but I was having um, technical issues and I had an appointment later in the evening and it just day got away from me. So I'm here now and I am going to do an overview of this karmic situation that your divine counterpart is in. So, I hope you're all doing well. It's raining here, which I don't love, but I like the way it smells and I like the flowers afterwards, so I'll just stay positive about that. I'm going to go ahead and put some. I've already cleansed the energy in here this morning before I did my morning meditations and affirmations and decrees and prayers and whatnot, but never too much prayer. Thank you all so much for your uh, donations and the just engagement and new subscriptions. It's just been awesome. I love this community. I love being here with you. Um, I know personally that just being in this community and talking with people, that it really helps me to stay focused on the positive and stay focused on the good and not feel overwhelmed or let down or whatever by the intensity of this connection. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the current and future energies for this month. So I'm actually going to do this just came to me. I'm going to do 4 cards. One for the first week, one for the second, third, and fourth. So that's how this layout is going to go. Also, thanks to those of you who've reached out for private readings. If you have a private reading, I'll get that to you within the 72-hour window. If you need to reach me on Instant Go, please feel free to do that. Thank you to somebody who reached out to me on Instant Go and gave me a little mini tutorial on how to make sure I was doing it right. I appreciate you. You know who you are if you're watching. Okay, so here we go. This is the Angel Tarot. First week. 9 of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Second week. Abundance, things look good, having patience, and making long-term plans. Third week, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. And fourth week, the Wheel, a time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward, fortune is on your side. All right, that's interesting. You guys, this song is coming up again. What is going on with my music algorithms? Damn, I wish I was your lover. Just popped up again. Like, good lord. Okay. John Holland Psychic Tarot of the Heart. I'm going to pull one for each of current. So this is first week, second, third, and fourth. First week, shadow side. Second week, actually, let me do this. Second week, conflict and defeat. Third week, patience and planning. And fourth week, Sacral Chakra. Okay, that's interesting. So if you look at the energies of this first week, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights, this is also the shadow. So, sorry, I'm trying to get the camera in a good position. So what I'm getting from this is that the general energies of the karmic situation as a whole are right now, definitely not positive. It says expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. So these are the people in the karmic situation are not doing. It's not not great energy for them right now. And either one or both parties are dealing with shadow side. It's shadow material. Um, Facing what they don't want to know. So the shadow material, it's not like people. A lot of people, the shape, think of it as you like evil or dark side or whatever, but the shadow is literally just the material, like the unconscious material that we don't want to know. So it's the things that we're not, our psyche doesn't feel capable of holding. And so we have to be mindful of that this is not necessarily like that they're dealing with dark energies, just that things are coming uh, up to be healed. And that's a lot what the Scorpio full moon is about. Scorpios kind of don't, the Scorpio energy is kind of like doesn't put up with any shit, will cut things out, um, and passionate in there, and also just doesn't have time for bullshit. So that is what's happening right now. Is in the energy right now is that there are, um, it's just not positive energy. It's not negative. It's just not great. It's not like high vibe. It's old. It's stuff that needs to be faced is coming up, um, and it's causing them some just pain of expecting the worst, not sleeping, just kind of dealing with their stuff. The second week, it says abundance, things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. And this conflict and defeat card showed up. So the way that I'm reading this, because of these two cards, they seem, relatively, sorry, I'm trying to get the angle right, but I don't know. It's different with live than what it is with other videos, so it just looks weird. Um, Anywho, it says abundance, things look very good. Have patience at this time, making long-term plans, and conflict and defeat. Those seem to be two pretty contradictory energies. So what I'm getting from that is actually that um, this conflict and defeat energy is like, how long can you be in a situation where you feel conflict and defeat? This has been present for such a long time in this karmic situation where one or both parties is just feeling like, they know it's not a good fit, they know it's not right, but there's all this like fear and mental prisons that are keeping them trapped. And um, so that's that energy. Um, but it's also like, okay, making long-term plans. So what I'm thinking is that there's movement happening. So it's like for those that have been in that space where they're like, I'm kind of ready for this situation to end and I just need to figure out how to get out of it. I feel like this sense of conflict and defeat has finally, after this first week, is kind of like, you know what, I've been feeling this conflict and defeat, I've been feeling this stuff, I faced my shadow, and I'm realizing like this is the situation, this is what it is, and if I want to be happy, or if I want to really fulfill my heart's purpose and my mission in this life, then I need to get out of this conflict and defeat space and start making some long-term plans. That's what I get for the second week. Third week is again, like it's mirroring. It's like plans and then plans, patience and planning. Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone. So this could be very much that a person goes on a vacation, maybe takes a weekend away, and is really spending some time thinking and contemplating about what direction they want to go in. Hey, MMD, welcome. And planning their next steps, plotting and planning their next steps. Being patient because they don't um, necessarily want to jump ahead, like without having a plan in place. Like there needs to be some prudence with that. But they also, what I'm getting is this getting out of this stuck energy. Like there's been this stagnant energy, this stuckness that's been present for quite a while. And I feel like that energy is moving through, and now it's in the planning stages. It's like, okay, so if I'm going to end this connection, how do I do it? What am I going to do? How do I get out of it? What's my best steps, like my best plan? Like, do I need to be like save money or make money or what, kind of figuring out how that's going to actually play out. And the final week is the first card I pulled is the Wheel. It says a time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. And then there's the Sacral Chakra, which is really about will. The Sacral Chakra can really be tied into recognizing what you want And, you know, being able to bring what you want into manifestation, into reality. The wheel is, you know, it's the end of a cycle. It's the fortune, wheel of fortune. I want to look up that card. I feel like there's a message that I want to read to you on that. It says positive. The angel sent you this card because of positive changes occurring in your life. Expect and enjoy beneficial new opportunities as they present themselves. This is an optimal time to make big and small changes. Take the leap with the knowledge of everything working for you. Old blocks are lifting and everything now moves forward quickly. If recent events shook your faith, you'll now see how they were actually positive for you. Rapid advancements likely now. Hey, global music, welcome. Additional meanings: good luck, a happy accident, balanced karma, a twist of fate, and destiny. And this is the Archangel Michael card, and a lot of the twin flame community really talks about the Archangel Michael being pivotal to bringing healing and transformation to the twin flame connection. So what this is saying to me is that there's this, you know, if you look at the energies over the month, it's like they start here with this like dark energy, and it feels like this kind of reckoning energy that may be coming up. It may be that one or both parties are just really facing their dark, the shadow side, and they're like, you know what, it's time to quit, to like, get out of denial. The situation is not working anymore. It doesn't feel good. It's not encouraging. It's not exciting. There's no passion. There's no love, and kind of really facing like what it is about either or both of them that has allowed them to stay in a passionless, codependent, non-loving relationship, because you know, like, what is that about? What is it about me that allows me, and I'm speaking rhetorically here, to stay in this kind of situation? So there's that, and then it moves into really wanting to get out of the conflict and defeat, making plans to move forward. And then at the end, it's just like this, like, I know what I want. Karma is balanced. Things are moving forward, and I'm going to go after my passions and what I desire. So that's the overall energy. I really feel like I've been feeling this for a while, that May and June are going to be really pivotal months for the twin flame connections. Hey, Fawn, welcome. And I really think that we need to be mindful of that we may not be seeing a ton of action right now, but people are starting to move and energies are starting to shift. And if your twin is feeling, you know, dark night of the soul energy, or just facing their shadow, and you can see it and you can feel it right now, like, the best thing you can do is just step back and let them experience that. That's the best thing that they need. So let's see where the divine counterpart is this month, like what the progression of energy is. So Spirit, can you give some guidance as to where the divine counterpart is in this particular situation, in the karmic relationship over the course of the month of May? First one, material harvest. Second, power. Third, victory and success. And fourth is hope. Actually, I'm going to use these cards. I was going to use the Angel Tarot, but I felt led to use these cards, so I'm going to. So this is where the divine counterpart is during this month of May. Okay, just a little. Okay. Woo! Your divine counterpart's got some stuff going on. So, this card, Material Harvest, it's a physical, it's like, if you look at the card, it's like this dude is like getting, like, reaping all his bounty. Like, he planted his seeds and whatever. But the energy that's coming through for me right here is literally like when I flip this card over, the energy was you reap what you sow. Like that karma, that karma is, if it hasn't already, it is going to um, come knocking on their door. So if there has been, um, yeah, if they've done anything that that's remained unbalanced, it's coming into balance. Remember that card at the beginning talked about karma balancing. So right now I really feel like there's like a lot of karmic balancing that's happening. I think that it's good. It's not all bad. Like, don't get me wrong. This is not like they're, it's a bad thing. It's just that they're reaping what they've sown. And so if they're like, if they have done some things that they shouldn't have done, or what, if they haven't been honest, or it's coming back around, and it's in order to clear the karma. It's in order to clear it, because once the karma is cleared, the connection can end. The next card that came out and is the star in reverse. The star is connected to Aquarius, so if you have an Aquarius in your life, it could be representative of them. But this card suggests lack of focus in this particular situation. It's like a lack of focus. Maybe there's some loss and some waste that has happened. So it's like, again, it's coming to it feels like a reckoning in many ways. Like the divine counterpart is currently facing like a reckoning. Like it feels like almost like the veil has been torn off, and the universe is like, okay, look, we're not going to sit here and listen to or participate and ignore the stuff that you haven't been facing. And it's like they're having to face themselves. They're having to look at their unconscious material. They're having to face like their limiting beliefs and things like that. That is really causing them in many ways to have some feelings of uncertainty, that they're like they have bought in for a long time, many divines, into the ego illusion of who they are. The ego is simply who they present themselves to be to the world, and they've kind of bought that, and now they're kind of having to face that maybe that isn't exactly who they are and who they have been, and they're dealing with some of that. That's what's happening this first week. The next week was the Power card. The Power card in the traditional tarot is the Strength card. And so they are coming into understanding about their power and their inner strength and who they are, their courage, all of those things. They're like coming into their power because they have to come into their power to deal with the adversity in their life. It's like if a lot of them have been passive and just kind of going along with the flow and not taking the lead in their own lives, like this is a time that they're like, look, if we want this cycle to end, if we want these patterns to go away, if we want this to shift, this situation to shift, then I need to shift. I need to step into my power. I need to not be just riding along the wave of life and not taking control. So this is the second week is going to be a week of learning. Okay, it's going to be like really learning that they're not powerless, that they can do things, that no is a complete sentence, that they can go after what they want and do the things that they desire, and not have to feel bad about kind of powering through and rising above some of those codependent tendencies that may be present. So this one, the next card that came up was the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and it's like basically there's this recognition around the stagnancy, that they haven't been moving, like they've become, so like how water gets stagnant, like a pond, if it doesn't have an outlet or it doesn't move around, that it becomes stagnant and gross, and it like starts to smell, and moss and shit grows on it. And it's like the karma or the divine in this situation is starting to recognize their own spiritual stagnancy, and is recognizing like the Wheel of Fortune is at hand. Like I can take steps, move forward, and put an end to this situation or this cycle, or I can stay stagnant, and stagnant water is gross. And so that's where they are, is kind of coming to that space of I've been stagnant, I've been stuck, and I'm kind of getting ready to move out of that. Okay, so the third week is Victory and Success. This is a spiritual card, and so what this is saying to me is that the Divine in this situation is ready to move into victory and success. It's like they recognize that they've been stuck. They recognize that things have not been great, that there's things that they want to do, and they want victory and success. Like, no, they don't want to live in this situation that feels stagnant, that feels like not exciting anymore. They really want to move into victory. Hey Naomi, welcome. Um, yeah, they realize that they've worked hard and that there are things that they deserve success and they're ready for it. But they also are beginning to realize that if you get success when you're not ready for it, like a certain celebrity who is currently going off the rails, um, that if you don't have the character to hold the position, if the success, if you don't have the practices and the discipline, it's like if you don't have if you haven't shifted your mindset in in your ways of being in the world, even if you get success, you're likely to sabotage it. It's like winning the lottery, but you still haven't worked through your issues and healed your relationship with money. That money is going to be gone soon. Most people that win the lottery that don't do the inner work end up broke and usually in a worse financial position than they were before they won. And so this is some of that recognition that has been going on in the last this month for the divine counterpart, is recognizing like the success and the victory that they want is available. They have to do some work to be able to maintain that and withstand it. They don't want to be the person that gets into union or creates a great relationship or creates a great business only to sabotage it because they haven't done the work to heal whatever keeps them from ascending. The next card is the Ace of Swords. An ace always suggests a new beginning. So this is telling me that mentally this person is getting ready for a new beginning. And yeah, that's what it is. It's like they're stepping into their own really like intelligence. So if this is a person, this might be a person like the divine counterpart in this situation, may be a person who is super, super intelligent, very bright, very capable, but then in certain ways is behaving in ways that you're like, why are you behaving like this? Like, you're smarter than this. Like, what is going on? And this is them stepping into their power and recognizing like that they don't have to continue being and living the way that they've lived thus far. So the next card that came out for the fourth week is, if you notice, this last card is the Hope card, which is traditional tarot, the star. So we got the star 2 times in this card. So really, if you have an Aquarius in your life, I'm really feeling that Aquarian energy. So if your divine counterpart is an Aquarius, this is a particularly relevant message. Hey, Francesca. So it says, this is a card that focuses on the qualities of hope, faith, healing, aspiration, success, and finally enlightenment. The hope card will help you show that the impossible can indeed become the possible. The force that works through your soul, determining what's possible, and the difference between success over failure is the power of your belief. So this is them coming to the space of recognizing that they've been looking at this all wrong, right? They've been looking at the situation like they don't see how it's possible. There's too many obstacles. There's too many things in the way. And this card is coming to show up to say, hey, look, it may feel impossible. It may feel challenging at this point, but it's not impossible. Like, all things are possible through God. And so that's the belief that they're moving into in the final week, that they're starting to see, using this sharp intellect and having stepped into some of their more spiritual power, recognizing that the only thing stopping them from achieving the dreams and their wildest dreams reality is that they are is their own beliefs. So this last card is the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. And so it's this is about them. It's like a cautionary card. So the 5 of Pentacles is really kind of like step by step, like the New Kids on the Block, right? Step by step, that they'll get to their destination step by step. And this is cautionary, but don't run ahead too passionately. Don't go too fast. Don't go too far. You may end up actually like stumbling and causing more problems for yourself if you're not careful. And so this is saying that there are, I think what really what's coming through is that once they get out of their own way, they're going to be like, well, damn, and they kind of want to run like full speed ahead. Um, but they have to be cautious about like running too fast. So it's like if your divine figures out by in May that he or she wants to be with you, and they're like, you know, I can't live without you. I want to be with you. You're my everything. And then it's like they're wanting to just like run full speed ahead, and they're like, you know, my karmic situation is over, or I took a job in your area, and they want to like, you know, like take rapid action. Just be careful, okay? Just take it like I understand how exciting that would be, but be mindful about proceeding with caution. You don't want it to go so fast that you gain too much momentum and stumble because you're not ready. So just be mindful of that. But I really get a lot of forward movement. I feel like they've been stuck for a while, and there's going to be some shifting from that energy, which is good. Hi, is it Landria? Is it Landria or Landria? So the karmic situation, I'm gonna pull some cards for that. With some Janae playing in the background. And you do not have to pretend like there is no way out. I should have never let you in. She got me face down. I think this is what the karmic is feeling right now. Listen. See what you done to me. I want to know. You can feel some kind of energy shift? Good, me too. I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you. Okay, I love this song. I just wanted to play it while I was shuffling. It's called The Worst by Janae Aiko. Okay, so let's find out where the karmic is going to be in this situation. Now remember, this is applicable to whether you are it's your DM in a karmic situation or the divine feminine. Either way. Where's the karmic? Solar plexus chakra. Love begins. Prosperity begins. And memories of love. All right, all right. He don't wife he one night some. Oh, this is so unoriginal. So let's jump in. I'm using the this first deck is the John Holland Psychic Tarot, and this second deck is the Santa Muerte, which I absolutely love, love, love. Okay. Knight of Wands in reverse, Justice, King of Cups in reverse, and the Hanged Man. Wow. The solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra is the, it's sort of right in the, I mean, you can call it like the navel area, you know, like, right, sort of like, yeah, like navel area, like right above your belly button is basically where it is. It's power, vitality, willpower, self-esteem, and confidence. So, the karmic is stepping into a sense of their own confidence. I feel like the karmic has been Um, I don't know if you guys watch Daniel Boone LLE, Daniel D Boom LLE. I think he changed it to Daniel Boom LLE. Anyway, but he always talks about like he's like the divine in the situation decline. Um, but Daniel Boom always talks about that that the divine has really fucked up the karmic, like beyond recognition is what he says. And I feel like this is that there has been a lot of that where like and it's not because the divine is being malicious, it's just because they're not being divine. It's just because it's a karmic situation, and it's, karmic situations are 50 shades of fucked up by and large. And so this is that has been what's happening. And so it feels like the karmic has been like, um, this with the solar plexus energy coming in, really it's kind of coming into their own power, sort of like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I putting up with this shit? This is like, again, solar, it's like self-esteem, confidence. The Knight of Wands is like in reverse. If it was upright, it would be strength and determination, moving forward with our plans. But it's like when it's reversed, it's like indecision, delays and movements, and it's deep. For me, it's deeply rooted in this lack of confidence. It's like I think I really get the sense that the karmic is kind of like, why am I putting up with this shit? Like, I deserve better. This person isn't being what I need them to be. They're playing games, they're being dishonest, they're entertaining other people, there's like, whatever. But they're, because they haven't quite moved into their own self-confidence and belief in self, it's still causing them to be stuck and not taking those steps forward. So then there's right here, if you look, the second week is love begins. So this is like an emotional cup. This is like a beginning, literally a new beginning. It's an ace. So it's like the karmic really wants to have those positive feelings and new love, new opportunities, things like that. And so I don't even read this as that they want. Sorry about that, I got another call. It's like everybody wants to call me right now. um, this the love begins. I honestly, I feel like it's that song, like Jody Watley from like the 80s. I'm looking for a new love, baby. I really feel like there's some of that energy where it's like the karmic is like, I'm not quite sure that I'm ever going to get the love that I desire and that I deserve in this situation, and so I may have to start looking elsewhere. I also get the feeling that there is some self-love, because we're talking like the card right before it was about confidence, and so I feel like there's some self-love that's starting, that the self-love for the karmic is starting to rise up and being like, I love this person, or I care about this person being the divine counterpart, but I love me more, and I'm not going to continue being in this situation where I'm feeling unfulfilled and unappreciated, or whatever that situation might look like. Or even a situation that's but it's not great. So the other card that was pulled is Justice, and it's a push toward balance and stability, the ability to measure things out and to evaluate, but above all, to attain what we really merit. Justice, for this reason, will be clement and generous with the good and severe with the bad. The outcome, therefore, implies that it will be the right one for the impartial and honest consultant. So this is like, what I'm getting is the karmic is kind of stepping out, as they step into this self-confidence and start believing and loving themselves a little bit more, that they're going to start evaluating the situation a little more honestly. Really saying like, examining, is this really what I want? Is it balanced? Am I getting what I need? Like, have I been giving and giving and giving excessively to this person that I'm in a relationship with, to my own detriment, and they're not giving back? Is it imbalanced? Is it is it equitable? All of those things. I really feel like that's the situation. And then there's also the energy that I'm getting from this is a sense of really examining whether or not the energy, like really on some level, the karmic is like, okay, if this is not going to be the situation that I want, is it going to work itself out? Like, do I have can I make it on my own? Can I, do I have enough money financially to be able to stand on my own 2 feet if I decide that this isn't what I want? So the third week is the next one is prosperity begins, another ace, another new beginning. It's like, that's in the material world. The red cards are material. It's like, physical things. And so I get the sense that the karmic in the situation, the thing that I was wondering about is with, I started to do this reading yesterday and I had technical issues, and so that's why I stopped. It was like everything was being weird. But it's like a new business. It can be, this can be something where like the karmic could get sort of like an offer they can't refuse. Like let's say that they could get like a job offer, for instance, that's like, we want to get, you can get this promotion, you can get this position, but if you take it, it's going to require you to have to move, to a different state or a different city, and it would take them away from their from the divine counterpart in this situation. But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, but it's like an offer that's so good that I don't know that I can refuse it, because thinking about financial stability in the future, and it's like that's really the energy that's coming through, is like some kind of like literally an offer that can't be refused, something that is like, hey, talking to like their best friend or something and being like, I just got this job offer for, it would like double my salary. It's a great promotion. It's a super awesome opportunity, but it would require me to move to like San Francisco. And people are like, are you crazy? You better take that. You better take that. Not San Francisco, because the cost of living is too high. Let's do something more reasonable. Like it would, I'd have to move to Dallas from Denver. But it's like, double my salary. It's a significant promotion. It would enable me to like, pay off any consumer debt, so on and so forth. And then it's like people are like, you better take that. You crazy? Like that's a great opportunity. So I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. Literally like an offer that's too good to refuse. And then underneath is the King of Cups in reverse. It's like, this is like dishonest behavior, egotistical behavior, even corruption, even like, like a misappropriation of resources or something like that. So I'm kind of feeling like there may be, with this card, that in addition to this card happening, that there may be some things that are revealed about the divine in the counterpart in this situation, that just really says like, hey, there's this, the King of Cups in reverse. If it was the other way around, it would be very positive. It would be like a steadiness and benevolence, like a maturity. Because it's in reverse, it's like this immaturity. It's this kind of like, again, we're talking like egoism came up, and that's just something that has been present. So it's like maybe this recognition that this divine counterpart is really just trapped in their own ego and trapped in getting their own needs met, and not necessarily considering the well-being of the karmic. And the karmic is kind of like, all right, cool, I'm good. But then the last week is this Memories of Love card. The Memories of Love is like looking back fondly. It's like looking back with fondness. It can also suggest being trapped in the past, where it's like unable to move forward because they're looking back so fondly on the past. But that's not necessarily the that could be what's happening. I don't necessarily feel them being trapped as much as it's like looking back fondly, like wanting to, continuing to just look back, and maybe a little bit of stuckness in the past. I mean, because if you're looking at the past, it's hard to move forward. And then you look at the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is literally about taking a pause, getting some distance, and thinking deeply about things. It can be certainly about making a sacrifice. It's an in-depth search. It's like soul searching. It's going deep, possibly even getting a new perspective, a new point of view, and taking the time to make a good choice to go forward. So I don't necessarily feel stuckness. I feel like careful evaluation, like things are coming to a head. Maybe this with this King of Cups, like the karmic is finally seeing the truth and seeing things as they really are, and then it's taking some time to really make a plan to go forward. And move through this energy, because it's not fun. This is not a great energy to be in. Let's just be real. It's just not a great energy to be in. So I'm going to move those aside. And Spirit, what is the outcome? What is the outcome for the month of May for this karmic situation that the divine counterpart is in? I have the weirdest playlist happening over here now. It's Oasis. Like, how do I go from like Janayaku to Sade to Oasis? Like, what is happening over here? My playlists are just as random as my mind, apparently. A lot of quiet in the comment section today. I'm just drinking in this information, or is it too early? Let me know if this is resonating for any of you based on what you know is going on with your karmics. I mean, your divines and their karmics. My bad, my bad. Okay, so outcome. This is the Angel Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Okay, likely outcome. The star, you guys, the star again is Aquarius energy. So if you have an Aquarius, this really resonates for you. Likely outcome, justice. That's the second time that the justice card has come up. So, oh, good, it's resonating. You can see a lot in your dreams. The Three of Fire, making long-term plans. Nine of Air, again, sleepless nights, expecting the worst. And then Four of Earth. Very interesting. So this outcome is like, the first one is happy times, making it positive, optimistic, long-term plans, being on the right path. So with this card, I really, really get the energy of it's the long-term planning that jumps out to me. Okay, it's the long-term plans. It's basically like, I'm feeling like there's this, again, this sense of the stagnancy is over, the stuckness is over. Like there is still some, the movement is slow, but it's moving forward. Justice is coming down, y'all. Like this is it. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Standing up for your beliefs. I really get the sense, honestly, I keep saying, like, this karmic clearing. If there is anything that has not been upfront, if there's any secrets, if there's any lies, if there's any barriers, that this is coming into justice. Like, justice will be done this month. And it's going to be fair. It's not going to be like, it's going to be fair, okay? And fair may mean, I mean, let's just be real. Like, if you've sown, like, really shitty seeds and you have bad karma, what's coming to you, like, fairness may not be nice. It may not be a pretty situation, but it will be fair and it will be just. And that's what that is. So I just want to get one clarifier for that because I'm curious. The Six of Swords, this is moving away from a situation. That's what came up with the Justice. So what I really get with this is like, with that Six of Swords energy, is that it could very well be that when this justice is done, that someone distances themselves. Like, it could be like the karmic or the divine, like justice is done, the truth comes out, everything is revealed. And then this card is like moving away from a situation, getting some distance. That may be the outcome. Then we look at the Three of Fire. Abundance, things look good, having patience and making long-term plans. So this, again, this is the second time that long-term plans came up, right? So it's this card and this card. This one is expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecy, sleepless nights. That came up in the masculine earlier, or the divine counterpart earlier. And so this is definitely like they're they may experience a lot of that may be a lot of energy. Do not be surprised at all whatsoever if you have contact with your divine counterpart and they're like, I just can't sleep, like I've just been having this like just insomnia. If you see them and they look tired, this is why, because they're really grappling with this stuff, really conquering their fears and coming to terms with their own stuff, with their own limiting beliefs and whatnot. This is being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Good business decisions. So that's one of the energies. This is a material card. So I'm getting being too frivolous or too cautious is more about material things. But then there's Nine of Pentacles, which is also a physical card. I just pulled that as a clarifier. So, excuse me. I'm going to grab a sip of coffee really quick. This is, to me, definitely, because these two cards together are talking about being too frivolous, and this one talks about also just not being maximum expansion. So there may be some overextending that happens in this connection this month. There may be some material overextending that happens, physical being. But I'm not necessarily feeling it as like a money energy. Like when I'm feeling into it and what's coming through is just this, it reached its apex where it's like this, like the patience can't stretch anymore. The illusions cannot withstand anymore. It's like it's kind of reached its end point and things are just not going to be, it just can't sustain. It's like a rubber band. You can't pull on a rubber band forever and expect it to maintain its stretch. It's like I feel like this connection has just stretched as far as it can. They both have just kind of reached their breaking point, and they have to be cognizant of how this is going to go forward. So I feel like that's the planning. So how you can support your divine counterpart through this process. Of course, do your own healing, because the more you heal, the more they heal. So definitely do your own healing, do your own work. This is me talking, not necessarily a channeled message through spirit. Do your affirmations, do your visualizations. Be very intentional about the energy that you put out and that you're sending toward them. But Spirit, 3 cards, please, to how the divine counterpart can help this situation. This is the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck. So how can the person watching help this situation? Cami said, after being in contact for years, 2 weeks ago, your DM said he loves me forever, but things are a mess with this karmic, and he can't do anything more, so he said we should go apart and end all contact. Sometimes that's the best thing to do. I shared this thing on Facebook the other day, and if you're not there, feel free to follow me there. It's Lisa Vallejos. Anyway. That's like this, the goddess... Oh, let me pull it up. I'm going to read it to you really quickly because it resonated so much with me and just this journey as a whole. But I'm going to read it to you. It says, a kind reminder that you do not need everyone to remain in your life. When people show you who they are in a manner that necessitates that they leave your life, let them go and allow them to experience what it means to never have access to your light again. When Osun was abused and neglected by many of the male deities, she did not attack, she removed herself. And because of her inherent place in the universe, life dried up. This mother knew her value. So the point with that is saying, like, okay, fine, if he wants to go no contact and he wants to be in that mess of a situation with his karmic, fine, let him be there. Withdraw your light. um, Not in a punishing way, not in a manipulative way, just be like, cool, you said no contact, I'm going no contact, I'm respecting that boundary. And then you let them feel what it feels like to not have you shining in their life, basically, is what I'm saying. It's like, one of my favorite sayings, I made it up actually, it's pretty quotable if I say so myself, is, if someone cannot appreciate the gift of your presence, let them feel the weight of your absence. And that's what this is, what I'm saying to you right now in particular, is okay, fine, let him feel the weight of your absence, let him feel what life feels like without you being a part of it. And that may be, sometimes that's the catalyst that they need to actually move things forward. So, how you can support them. Ancient wisdom, burden, and masculine energy. Interesting. Interesting. So, this is a fairly new deck, so I'm going to actually read this to you. It says, nature is the perfect place. Oh, wait. Yeah, nature is the perfect place to center yourself and ground out any excessive noise in your head. In nature, all the secrets of the universe are held, from the fiercest energy of a raging sea and the storm of the nurturing to loving energy of 100-year-old grove of trees. Get out in nature and listen to what she has to tell you. There's much to learn, so on and so forth. There's much to learn from nature. Trees just want to be trees. They're not trying to be boulders. Deer are just deer. They accept that. Wolves are wolves. They know no other way. They do not try to get an extreme makeover to become a bear. This energy vibration can be so different than the human experience. It's pure love, non-judgment, and acceptance. When you tap into the ancient wisdom of the natural world, you find peace within yourselves. You get to know thyself. By drawing this card, you are being asked to come to peace with who you are and what you have to offer the situation. Don't try and be anything other than who you are. Just let your light shine. That's the message that's coming through. Don't try to contort yourself or alter who you are. Recognize that self-love is loving this yourself and others exactly as you are on the way to where you're going. Okay, so burden is, oh, this is so amazing. You guys, seriously, this is so amazing. How you can help your divine counterpart. It says, many times we take on the stress of those we love and care for. We see it as the ultimate sacrifice. We take on others' burdens to save them the trouble or heartache. Ironically, the way energy in the universe works makes this a very counterproductive way of operating. When we take on the burdens of others, we deny them the ability to learn and grow from their own lessons. We also interfere with divine planning and timing. Never one to be thwarted, any lessons circumvented will absolutely reappear, sometimes with much more force than what was originally intended. Ask yourself if you or another is taking on troubles and lessons not belonging to them out of a need to be helped. This stems from the fear that you or they are fundamentally not enough. This is not true. You are created perfect. Your fears and doubts keep you separate from this truth. This is the separation one can feel from creation. Once you accept and believe that you're perfect and worthy, the tendency to make yourself invaluable to others through your help and assistance will go away. Your relationships can then be based on truth and not manipulation. So that is very clear message that a lot of you, and we've been talking about this, a lot of people have literally been carrying the pain for others. We've been taking on their burdens. We're like, oh, let me make myself, matter so much to his life that he can't live without me or she can't live without me. And then if they need me that much, then they're never going to leave me. That kind of stuff. But that's that codependent energy, right? We don't want to be in that codependent energy. So like I was just saying to Cam, it's like, just fine, they want to, be in that situation. Let them be in that situation. Give them the freedom to choose their own path and to also deal with the consequences of that path. So if they're like in a karmic situation and still trying to hold on to you and still trying to keep you hooked, it's perfectly okay for you to say, you know what? You've made your decision, you've chosen to be where you've chosen, and because you've chosen that, I am no longer accessible to you in the way that I was before. So, when I'm ready to be your friend, if I ever want to be your friend, I will let you know. But in the meantime, I'm going to need you to back off and give me some space because I need to do my own healing and I need to do my own work. That's perfectly okay. And by doing that, what you're not doing is holding their pain. You're not carrying it for them. Because when we do this codependent stuff where we're like, oh, my, divine is in a karmic situation, but yet I'm here for him or her whenever she needs me. We don't make them face their own pain because they get to assuage their pain by coming to us. And so by setting those healthy boundaries and saying, I'm not going to carry your pain for you. You have to carry your own burden. You have to work your own shit out. We're actually doing them a favor by letting them have the experience that the universe is trying to give them. So if you've been in that energy of taking on their pain, it's time to let it go and move on and take care of yourself. So the last card is masculine energy. The sun, a powerful life force without which nothing on this earth can survive. The masculine energy is one of action, doing, creating, forcing. In nature, it is balanced out with feminine energy. So on and so forth. We find ourselves embodying this energy. We get things done. We are thinking logical beings. If we reside here too staunchly. Okay, so I know exactly what this is saying. It's like some of you guys have been embodying the masculine energy because the masculine hasn't been keying up. Okay, I'm just going to be real. So if this is specific to divine feminines who are watching this, that if you are if your divine masculine has not been stepping into their king energy, then you probably have. More than likely that you've been stepping into the divine masculine energy. You've been getting things done. You've been carrying the weight of the relationship. You've been moving things forward. And, that's not a bad thing sometimes. It's a bad thing when it's all the time. So if you find yourself in that space with your divine where you're the one that's embodying all the masculine energy because otherwise shit's not going to get done, then you're out of balance. And how you can best serve this connection is by stepping back into your feminine energy, which is more receptive, which is more open to receiving, not so driven, not so just like, it's not about giving and giving and giving. It's learning to step back and to receive. So literally, one of the practices for stepping into your feminine energy is to really feel the energy going into like your womb area, like that base sacral chakra area, and literally like opening your chest and leaning your shoulders back and opening up to receive. Do that daily practice so you can open up to receive and see wherever you're stepping in and being the masculine in the situation. If you're taking the lead a lot, if you're the one like directing things and that's not your natural energy pull, stop doing it, because that's helping that by you stepping into that energy, it's actually helping your masculine to not grow. So really be mindful of that. Yes, meditations do help a lot. So if you are the divine masculine watching in this situation, what this message is saying is just be sure that you are really being your divine self, really continue to be that divine masculine, taking the lead, taking charge, but also not getting too out of balance as well, because we both need to be in that inner marriage between our divine masculine and our divine feminine. So really briefly, because I've got to run, so just really quickly, the final energies is there's this sense of giving your relationship a chance. So there may be at the beginning of the month this sense of like, well, we're going to give it a try and see if we can work it out, recognizing that this is a connection that is karmic tie. That's really how I take that past life relationship, and then letting go of control issues. I kind of see one or both parties in this situation being like, you know what, I surrender. Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just going to let go and see what happens, because I can't continue to like manage the situation, or micromanage the situation, or carry the load of this entire relationship. So, not a lot of love in this connection. It's just literally like practical and material things that are going on that are keeping them together. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Sorry I was late getting it out to you, but I really hope that it was useful and that you've got a lot of benefit from it. Please let me know if you have any questions. Again, thank you for all of your likes and subscribes, etc., etc. Let me know if you need a private reading or if you need to reach out to me on Instant Go. I would love to connect with you there. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all and talk with you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.